I've been doing some research into passwords, and I found out there's a lot of people who claim that passwords don't even work, and that the truth about passwords are it makes it a lot easier for hackers to get in. It makes it so much easier for hackers to get in with the password. And passwords, the only people that passwords do keep out is the rightful owner of the computer. See, passwords, they make it so much easier for hackers to get into your computer, and you can say, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. You can say that if you want, but I've had a lot of I guess you could call them digital witnesses, cyber witnesses, people that claim that passwords only make it so much easier for hackers to get into the computers. And you know, personally, I believe it. I believe that. I believe it. It's true. Passwords only make it a lot easier for cyber criminals to get right into your computer hacking. So if you want cyber hackers to hack and attack your computer, just put the password. And you know something? By putting passwords, you're gonna make it so much easier for hackers to get in. They're gonna thank you. They're really gonna thank you. They're really gonna thank you. How about having no passwords at all? Because the only people that passwords keep out is rightful owner of the computer. It makes it so much, passwords make it so much easier for hackers to get into a computer. And the only person that password do keep out is the rightful owner of the computer. And these knuckleheads at places like Google and what have you, you know, they still can't seem to get to their thick skulls. Passwords don't work. Passwords only make it worse. Do away with passwords. You know something? A lot of them have even come out and admitted that passwords are making things worse. But you know something? They'll keep on. They'll stick with their passwords, even though they know it doesn't work. Even though they came out and admitted passwords don't work, it just makes things worse. But you know something? Even though they know and they came out and admitted that doesn't work, they'll always stick to their passwords. It's just I'll give you an example. Let's say I was a head honcho. I'll give you an example of what I mean. Okay, let's say I was a head honcho of the NRA, National Rifle Association, and I admitted to other fellow Republicans and what have you. Let's say I'm the head honcho at the NRA, National Rifle, and I admitted that yes, guns are just making things worse in the U.S. Not better, but worse. And I even admit that all that's doing is making things worse. We have to change the law. to make guns illegal. That's what we should do. But then I decide, along with other Republicans, I decide, even though guns are making things worse, instead of making guns illegal, I'm gonna vote to make guns more accessible, and I know it's making things a lot worse. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. If I know guns are making things worse, the only ethical thing to do is to come out and say, yes, there's a problem, it's making things worse. We got to rethink this one. We got to do something to make guns illegal. So the same thing with passwords. All these companies like Google, the shame on them. They admit that passwords, they came out and admit, yes, that's making things worse. They even came out and they know all about it, because they even came out and admit that, yes, that's right, passwords make things a lot worse. But what did they do? They support passwords, just like the NRA, stand behind their guns, and they will never give up their guns. They don't care how many of their people get killed with a gun. They're gonna stand behind their guns. How stupid. They will never change. They're always gonna have passwords, even though they know it does work. They're always gonna have passwords. So what they're doing? They're defending their God-given right to be stupid. That's what they're doing. They're defending their God-given right to be stupid. Well, you know something? If you want, you do have a God-given right to be stupid. I have a God-given right to be stupid if I want to, but I choose not to be. If it was me, I would develop a different kind of system. I would make that passwords are optional. If you want them, you have them. If you want them, if you don't want them, you don't have to have passwords. Alright, we'll look into something different like eye recognition, fingerprint recognition, because it's something different than passwords, because passwords are not even working. And there's a guy, I wrote his name down, I think it's an inventor, by the name of Fernando, and I'll spell out his last name, Corbato. And he admitted that passwords are a nightmare. He admitted that passwords were nothing but a nightmare, and how stupid to stick with passwords when you know yourself that passwords don't work and you have to get something different, but even though you know it's not gonna work, you're still gonna stick with passwords. I say, how stupid is that? It is very stupid. And then they get their computers broken into. We know some, I really don't feel sorry for them. I don't feel sorry for them mentally stupid. I feel sorry for people who try to do the right thing, and in the end, they get the shaft.